Alright, so this is a 3-color control deck that really leverages some of the more unique aspects of Mythgard to leverage card advantage. So our primary card advantage engine in this deck is actually the path that we have associated with it. So this path says, at the end of your turn, if the top card of your deck is an enchantment, you draw it. So our deck actually has 21 enchantments in it. So 21 out of our 40 cards means at the end of every turn, we're about 50% to draw an extra card, which is huge. Then, in addition to that, the root part of the Rainroot control is Root of the World here. It says, occupying minion has pay 1, place this minion on the bottom of its owner's deck, and then draw your next minion. This, in conjunction with our power, which is pay 3 resources, get a 1/1, lets us spend 4 to draw the next minion out of our deck. So, got a bunch of different enchantments in 3 different colors. We have the card Beimeni Falls, which I actually talked about with the previous deck, that says, whenever minions create in this lane, you gain 2 to kind of help us stabilize against the aggressive deck. So, let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes. Something that I'm trying to that's different than the previous builds I've played of this. I've cut the copies of the twins from this deck. I'm not sure if that's good, bad, or otherwise. They've been a little bit clunky for me, so I'm going to try without them. Alright, so I'm going to burn Eager Recruit to start. Looks like a reanimator strategy on the other side of the table. Disc usually indicates that. Could just be a value discard deck, but likely reanimator. I'm going to deploy Sandscape here. So Sandscape makes this and the 2 things on either side a nice beautiful panorama desert. Deserts say, whenever an enemy minions attack this lane, your opponent takes 1. We don't really care about the opponent taking 1 from attacking, but the reason why we do this is it creates other enchantments here that allow us to get discounts on our enchantments later. So one of the other things it does, in addition to drawing cards, it says when we replace enchantment, we gain mana back equal to that enchantment's cost. So basically, these can allow us to generate extra big turns later in the game. Because I don't need a resource back this turn, I'm going to go ahead and play Beimeni Falls right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and clay effigy onto it, which creates an 0/1, and that draws me a card, and then I gain 2 life from creating a minion here. What did I replace twins with? I added the artifact that gives all your minions +1/+1 and a 4th Falls, I think. The deck list for this will be in the video description after I'm done today on the YouTube channel. Slide this over this way. And then now, to give you a good example of getting extra resources back, I'm going to deploy this here, which replaces a 2 cost, so it creates another thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my hero power here to create a thing and gain a life. So when this dies, it gets replaced by the bottom minion in their boneyard. So if they manage to kill their 2/3, they'll get a 5/7 here that creates an immolation cloak. We're going to start generating some card advantage with Root of the World next turn. We've actually been pretty unlucky this game. We haven't really drawn, I don't think we've drawn any enchantments at the end of our turn with our path yet. But this game's going to be long, and there's going to be plenty of time to do that. So I'm going to burn this thunderclap here. Then I can go ahead and play Root of the World here, which will let me cash this in to draw the top minion of my deck. Then I can slide this free snake over to draw the top minion of my deck. Then I can play this Eager Recruit out here and then use it to draw the top minion of my deck. And again, this, thinning all these minions out of my deck, will make it more likely, too, that we're able to have an enchantment on top of our deck. Probably want to burn this for another orange next turn. When you're setting up your gems in the 3-color decks, you usually want to know in advance what thresholds you're going for, because you are limited to having just 10 thresholds. This deck ideally wants 2 blue, 3 orange, 3 yellow, and then a mix of the other ones, depending on what your hands look like and what your resources line up as. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy Oasis here, which says when you deploy it on a desert, you draw a card. So it's going to replace itself immediately, which is great. I'm going to burn an eager recruit here to get another orange threshold. I'm going to go ahead and deploy Goliath's Web over here. Gives the occupying, it creates a spider, and the occupying minion has deadly, so we'll be able to eat this 2/4 here, which is great. This deck doesn't really play short games, win, lose, or otherwise. You tend to play for the 15, 20-minute games. If you're looking for quick 5, 10-minute games, this is not the deck for you. They killed my snake, but the snake den makes a snake every turn, so not really that big of a deal. We want to ideally find another yellow card so we can play Sapo out to kill what this is going to get replaced by. That's smart. Then a Slayer, so it cuts through. We'll probably use this recruit to cycle through here.
A mission.
Hey, Bragi's not bad. Bragi helps smooth our draw art here. So he's a 3/5 that can activate to draw a card, then put a card from our hand back on top of our deck. Don't really need to rune in denial, so let's get rid of one of those. I think I might actually just burn this Sapo off at this point. Just so I want to make sure I hit a resource every turn, and I don't really want to burn another blue card. There's another Beimeni Falls. That's decent. Probably deploy that over here so we can gain life. You want to spread your falls out a little bit so that way you can be gaining life on multiple different lanes. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. They stole my thing. So I can have this attack here for 2. And then I could misanthropia to like clean up the board. The problem is this is going to create a Lantern Colossus. Am I okay with that though? I could silence the Necro, that's true. With the Rune denial. So that way it doesn't bring anything back. The problem is I'm taking another big hit next turn. I'm at 12, so I think that's not okay. I think I'm just going to misanthropia, hit this here. Because this thing's not going to be able to attack the turn it comes into play. I agree that silencing doesn't seem worth it. I think I'm burning a blue card here. Getting the third blue kind of sucks, but I guess I don't need the second Beimeni Falls. I'll create a thing here, which gains me 2, and then next turn I can slide this over and draw a thing. Although I guess that they put the Immolation Cloak on here, this kills that, and then I can't do that anymore. Depending on what else they play out here, we might drop Magnus next turn. Root of the World is full art. Do you drop more often? Negative. It's got some great artwork, though. Yep. Hopefully they deploy out a couple other things that die to this.
How intriguing.
2/5 with deadly. At the start of your turn, return the bottom spirit minion of your boneyard to your hand. This is a spirit. These are spirits. Brutal. I think I'm just suppressing that so they don't redraw a bunch of crap. And I'll put this over here. So that way it gets in the way from taking damage. We're taking 5 from this next turn. Maybe it's wrong. Games like this make me think maybe it's wrong to not have the twins. Because like, if I just like had a big beater here, that would be really good, right? Does Magnus get deadly on his awaken trigger? So deadly explicitly only applies to combat damage. So unfortunately, Magus plus web is not a combo. That'd be sick if it was. Down to 8. How many minions are in my deck? Got Sapo, 4 eager recruits, a Raziel, a Scion, and again an angel. It's so many. Because the lantern has overrun, so putting 1/1s in front of it doesn't really matter. I basically like have to hit get an angel here with the 8/8 play. Yeah, I think we're dead. Yeah. Pack it up, pack it in. Yeah, you want to put the twins back in. I think not having those is probably a mistake. Just like needed some heavy hitters. That's one of the things they do, just like play more good cards. Yeah, ring's not very good. I only have 1 ring. I kind of feel like I have too many blue cards. Maybe just cut a demolition speedway. I feel like I have like 1 blue card too many. With 11. I'm gonna cut a demolition speedway. Let's try that. Keep getting the games where you just get gummed up on so many blue cards just feel really awful. Yeah, exactly. They cover a lot of ground when you're behind. They like block almost the entire board. And then when you're not behind, they kill people very quickly. Especially in this deck where we have Beimeni falls, like, the twins often are like, huge board presence plus gain 2 to 4 is a big deal. I think you should cut a rune denial since it's 2U. The thresholds don't matter. You're always getting to double blue. I think rune denial is really important and very good in this current format. Most of the decks in this format have a lot of enchantments that are really important. This deck also is basically non-functional when someone has the red enchantment that suppresses 3 enchantments in front of it, so you have to be able to kill that card. If you can't kill that card, you basically don't get to play when they draw it. We were pretty exceptionally unlucky at the start of that last game, too. I think we had, like, 4 or 5 turns at the beginning where, like, our deck that's 50% enchantments didn't draw an extra enchantment. Which is gonna happen sometimes, but you're pretty below below average when it does happen. Yeah, see? Freebies. All about the freebies, chat. Double sandscape early is pretty sweet. Let's just go like get a lot of enchantments deployed, which is nice. That means all of our future enchantments are going to be a little bit cheaper. I'm going to burn this here. Really hoping to hit a yellow card here. Well, that's another sandscape, so that's at least that gives us a redraw. If we hit a yellow card next turn, I can go coin into misanthropia on 4, which is good. Cleans the board up nicely. We're in a mono orange, it looks like. Yeah, this is the first time. I think this is the first time on stream I've had this many, perfect. This is the first time on stream I've had this many deserts out in a row. They're very pretty. A lot of really phenomenal attentions to detail in this software. I think I want to start burning blue cards. Both of their things are going to die here in a second from the blight. Getting misanthropia so early does make our thresholds a little bit awkward here. Because we had to get to triple yellow ASAP. So like my double orange and double blue are currently a little bit awk. To heaven and back, super powerful card. It's another reason to play two of the runes to get rid of enchantments. The Desert Panorama is the cropped art from Sandscape. Oh, it is, isn't it? Neat. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Would really like to find a beimeni falls so we can like start buffering our life total up a little bit. Because you want to start gaining life early and often. So that's one attack, an agile while occupying a desert. Ooh, that's a good one. Alright, so I can make this a 4/4. Slide this over. This doesn't seem like it's going to be useful anytime soon, and I do want to start rooting soon. And then, do I want to bragi? I feel like bragi's probably pretty good here. Just because, I have, like, the sandscape that's not very good in my hand, and getting him charged up and getting his energy going soon is good. Getting rid of this can probably wait till they have a minion in it, because this also suppresses the minion they put in it. So if we wait till they drop a minion here, we get to suppress the minion and get rid of the enchantment to get a little bit extra value that way. Oasis is sweet. It draws a card when it replaces a desert, so it makes a minion immortal till end of turn. That's not a very good one to suppress, but definitely going to get rid of the to heaven and back before we kill that one. Otherwise, they get to draw 2 more, which is not great. Wonder if they'll use their power to slide this down and crack us for 4. It definitely feels like they're the aggressor in this matchup. So I currently have 6 resources. This is a 2-cost enchantment. The ones on either side are 1-cost enchantments. And knowing what their cost is relevant because of our Rainbow's End power here, because it gives us a discount on, gives us resources back. When you play Rainbow Root, every other deck stickers. That is true. We are always the always on defense for sure. Not everybody always recognizes that. Something to note though. Alright, so I'm definitely doing this here. I think I'm gonna Oasis here. Because it gives me 2 back. Because if I get 2 back, I could do this. No, the 2 back doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, that was loose. I haven't burned a card yet. Let's burn this extra eager recruit. Before I activate this, I'm going to play this eager recruit so that way I can shuffle away. Shuffle back in the ephemeral card here. Basically just like be up a card, which is great. So get rid of that. We ended up using all of our resources here still, so it's relatively efficient. Next turn we can deploy Root and start cycling away some of our more medium things, although they might trade these here. If they don't move this again, I'm probably going to go Smash, Root. Well, I imagine they'll move this to the left. Although it still can't attack this turn because this is immortal, which is nice. One of the other things that's kind of a neat interaction with your Rainbow's End is when you have more expensive enchantments like Oasis here, if you replace them with cheaper enchantments, you actually net resources. So you can use that as kind of a way to ramp to get an extra big turn in. Assuming you have the thresholds to do everything you're looking to do in that extra big turn. Yep. Yep. They slid down as expected. I'm probably going to move this way, I think. Huh. So I can't get attacked here next turn. I'm going to put a Root of the World here. And then cash this in. Making my thing invulnerable so the turn doesn't really matter. Can slide this over, and then next turn this can kill this, and then I can cash it in. I'm going to put a Goliath web here. So that way this will have deadly to kill the Secret Keeper next turn. I have 4 mana total. I've not yet burned a card this turn. I think I probably burn this to heaven and back. I'm going to go ahead and play my own Secret Keeper out here. Let's play this Dorko out. Reporting. And then I can draw a card and throw back this 1/1 again. Although maybe I want to keep that for this here. This lets me Divination 2, which can set up an enchantment on top of my deck. There's the Venomate Fall, so I can start gaining some life here. And then, next turn, if they don't kill this, this can actually draw 3 enchantments from my deck, which is pretty great. Let's go find some friends. Thunderclap's not looking particularly useful here, because this is warded. So if anyone's wondering why I didn't, like, use the 4/4 to tap this, we couldn't finish it with Clap because it was warded. Oh yeah, it was also immortal. Good call. That's why frenzying this didn't work. These are the created minions are both immortal on these spots. Which immortal means they just straight up don't take damage, right? Cannot be damaged and is immune to destroy effects. Yep. Still be banished notably, but not damaged or destroyed. They could move this twice. That's funny. Just trade them off. They could move this twice to get out of range of deadly. That's a good line. They missed an attack here, right? I think they were clocking out though. I guess I actually don't have that good of enchantments to get here. I drew the Oasis for the turn. Get another Goliath web. Probably that. Play the oil field here, which gives me an extra permanent resource. I guess I could just burn some of these too. It's a 4/4 because it's in a desert. It's pretty good. I haven't burned anything yet. I'm going to burn the extra serpent's den. Smack you for 3 before I forget. Sure. This doesn't really want to attack into that, so I think we're just going to hang tight. This is defender, right? Yeah. I suppose I could net some extra resources here. Yeah, the oil field doesn't really matter, so I'm going to put this here, which kicks us up to extra resources, and then put a thing here that's deadly. Hey, Kindle B, thanks for the 3rd of the year. Welcome back. Hope you're having an excellent Friday wherever you are. So defender means I have to attack it if I attack. So I can have one deadly kill this, and then the other deadly kill this one. Even though it's warded, it still dies to deadly inside of combat. I think that's like one of the first times I've ever actually used Bragi's ult. Usually the game is over before then. Occupy minion has 1 attack. The minion in the opposite lane has -1 attack. That's brutal. Deadly's a lot less good with that being the case. Yep. All right, so I can clap. Yeah, that's basically what Oilfield is. Just like, all right, ramp 1 because of the sandscapes. I could do this, and then I could do this. Okay. And then I can deploy snakes over here, so that way I can start sliding snakes into the root of the world, which sounds great. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put this here to gain some life. And I've got more snakes. I'm going to put snakes over here too, and I think I'm going to put a second root on this one here. I can only burn 1 more card total, so I'm not going to worry about burning anything this turn because I think I want a 4th orange. So we've kind of got the board under control here now. Our health total is relatively high. And we'll start cycling some minions into our deck with the Root of the Worlds. So that's fine. They kill that guy. Not a big deal. He's dead, Jim. You killed him. So let's slide this over. Tuck him in. That's a pretty good one. So let's do this. Slide this over, tuck him in. There's a twin. Okay, so I think I just want to get an angel here. The question is, do I want to also burn something and then tuck? I think so. Anything else I really want to burn, though? I guess I could just go Beimeni Falls here. Oh, and then that gives me the extra, right? So I don't have to burn anything this turn. Sweet. All right, so let's go Angel. And then I get to tuck the Angel in. And then next turn, we could do like what I was talking about earlier that makes the twins good, why I ended up putting them back in. I can go twin, twin, and just like create a bunch of board presence and then gain 4 life, which is great. Sapo's also decent, yep. And then I have 4 left over, which lets me go 3 plus tuck. And there's an eager recruit, which I can burn for my last orange. Our board is very beautiful at the moment, isn't it? We've made art with our board. It should be a win. You win the game if you make a panorama. Big agree. So I'm gonna get to draw 2 minions out of my deck next turn. Because we'll get to go slide snake over, slide snake over. This game does have a free-to-play option. Others in my community have told me the free-to-play is pretty generous. So I'm gonna put this twin here, which then lets me play the 0-cost twin here on falls, and then I can use this to tuck it back in, which is sweet. Smack your face. Put this over here. Put this over here. And turn. So I assume my opponent has an Armageddon Angel somewhere in their deck. So, like, they're not just dead here, but they're pretty far behind, right? Like, we're up on health total. We're up on board presence. We're up on cards in hand. Just every meaningful metric ahead by. This game was a good example of why the twins are good, although they just Seal of Exiled my twins. Rude. Goodbye, Felicia. What actual units are left in my deck? My deck is just an eager recruit, so we're at the point where we can just cycle any of our minions constantly, which is great.
Reporting.
There are 6 cards total in my deck, and we can see from the deck tracker we know exactly what they are. Grab that eager recruit out here.
Reporting.
You don't lose the game when you run out of cards in your deck in this game. You instead start taking damage for every card you've drawn but were unable to. The first card you go to draw that you can't, you take 1, then 2, then 4, then 8, so it doubles up every time. So you do lose the game fairly quickly when your deck is empty, but it's not an immediate loss. I forget that Beimeni Falls gives regen sometimes. Like, oh right, it does that too. This does some damage to something when it comes into play, sure. Huh? So all of these are locked down by this being immortal, which sucks. I'm gonna slide this over, create a thing here so we gain 2 life. Attack your face, attack your face. Play a 1/1 pass.
We have a mission.
We have to discard because we're at hand size, sure. Yeah, the combo finish that other people playing builds of this deck just wasn't good when I played it. You can, someone said we can't deck with the deck. We can deck with this deck because Root puts it on the bottom and then draws. So when there's no minions in your deck, you just keep drawing the same thing so you could loop it endlessly. They're definitely playing to decking me at this point. The last card in my deck is Root of the World. Huh? Why didn't that give me 2? Oh, did it? It probably did. We also don't really have to worry about discarding, because, like, one of the things, too, that the deck has good synergy on is that this card destroys all other minions, and Sapo is, Sapo's warded, so when you get an angel, your Sapo doesn't die. Divination 4, if at 0, draw a card, and then banish this and shuffle a 2-cost card into copy your opponent's deck. So, yeah, so they should be dead next turn. I have a demolition speedway here, too. That can give this extra attack. Yeah, there's one. I'm down to a single demolition speedway in this 40, and I think that's correct. So sometimes you want a little bit of extra hitting power at the end here when you're closing up. So Angel is lethal here. So we just like play Angel, kill everything, hit them for 10. The games you win with this deck frequently you win with an empty deck. That's a feature. It's not a bug. That's working as intended. But yeah, definitely like the twins. Cutting them was a mistake. So sorry to everyone's excited to see the non-twin games. Yeah, with this deck, the wins always take this long. This is not an aggro deck. It is a control deck that frequently wins with its deck empty. Oh, it's good. Good stuff. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. We got the 4th Beimeni falls in here. We've got 2 twins. I think the rest is, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if this to heaven and back is good. Seeing how those games play out, I'm not convinced that this card's actually useful. I'm not sure that this is something that I want. Playing another Sandscape is probably reasonable. That's probably what I'm gonna go back to. Just because, like, the games where you have Sandscape on 2 tend to be better than not. Like, you basically, we could play a hideout. That's actually, yeah, we talked about this card before, right? When you create a non-ephemeral minion in this lane, you add a 3/2 to your hand. Yeah, let's try a hideout. I think I'm gonna be done for today. I've got, I got some stuff I want to take care of around the house, but I think I want to try one of these. That sounds super appealing. We talked about this and I didn't add, but I like that. It keeps the enchantment count high. Like, I think one of the key things if you're someone who's going to be tweaking and tuning this deck is I'm pretty sure you want to keep the enchantment count like 19's the floor. If approximately half your deck is an enchantment, the card advantage aspect of Rainbow's End becomes less good. If you tried Necklace, so I have... Necklace is just awkward because you tend to take a lot of hits with this deck, so it tends to break pretty often. It does replace itself, which is nice, but you also don't frequently have blue early. Like, usually you're getting, like, yellow, orange as your first three, so you're not playing this till much later. And I'm not really sure I have any blue cards I want to cut here. Like, I think these are kind of the floor on these blue cards. Like, I don't think any of these are trimmable. And I don't know that I really want to add another blue card to the deck. Yeah, I started with Earthslide in the deck. So the build that... This deck actually came from I had been asking in the Discord for, like, Earthslide decks. And the more I played it, between, like, aggro decks playing Thunderclap in this game and Seal of Exile, there's just so many things that just, like, kill you with when you play Earthslide. Like, you can't use Earthslide to stabilize consistently because they just, like, wipe them all out and then kill you, which I think makes it not good enough. It's definitely, Earthslide's a good finisher in the late game, but I just genuinely don't feel like I need a finisher. Like, just the twins and Sapo and the Angel, like, you have plenty of finishers. And even Scion's a finisher in this deck. Just because you, like, make your random things into 4/4s, which is good. Yeah, I don't know that we really need another filter. I agree. Like, we see plenty of cards. All right, at any rate, that's it for me. I'm going to hit one more ad roll before I sign off, just so I hit my quota for the day. Thanks, everyone, for watching. If you're a fan of my Mythgard stuff, make sure you check out my website, my YouTube channel. Everything I stream gets uploaded to both of those places. I also am pretty sure I'm going to do an evening stream tomorrow. That's going to be a few Magic decks into a few Mythgard decks. So if you're interested in more Mythgard, I'll be back again tomorrow, most likely. So have a good one, folks, and I'll catch all of you around soon.